Hi everyone, I wanted to show you today how I made my Wendigo doll. So first of all, what I did is I took my skeleton doll, and I was going to keep her as she was, but no, it's alright, I'll turn her into a monster instead. So first of all, I cut her hair, and I've had to speed the video up because it was really long, it took me ages. So first of all, what I always do with the Monster High dolls is I just reduce down that neck peg. It just makes it easier to take the head on and off later on. And I remove the face paint with some acetone. And it took a minute or two because the skin's so pale and white, every little smudge shows up. So it did take a little while, but that's okay. I just worked on it bit by bit with some cotton buds, and then removed any little smudges and things, and used baby wipes just to wipe off the acetone. The thing that took the longest was removing the hair. This took absolutely ages. It was a bit gluey and sticky inside. So as I was taking it out, it was just not wanting to come out, and it was coming out in clumps, or it was just getting stuck inside the head. So it did take me a little while, but eventually I did get it off. Then using wire and some epoxy sculpt, I created these antlers on her head. I did start that off on a video on Instagram. And then somehow managed to lose the footage, unfortunately, but basically all I did was thread wire through the head and then bend it into the shape of antlers, and then cover it in clay, and then leave that to dry for 24 hours. I created these slightly thicker bits just to give it a slightly different shape. Yeah, it's just me tweaking the shape and just making it look a bit different. Then as the epoxy sculpt dries, it holds shape a lot better. So it was starting to dry off, and that's when I could create those nice sharp points for the antlers, so that's what I did there. And then used a clay tool and just moistened it with a baby wipe just to help me smooth down any little edges and just blend things in. Then I applied some hot glue on the head because she got a hole in her head from rooting. And I pushed the first bit of glue down into the hole, and then put the second bit of glue over the top, and then smoothed it down with the tip of the glue gun. And then it was just a case of leaving her for 24 hours to fully dry, and for the epoxy sculpt to fully cure. And obviously I just wanted to make sure that the hot glue was going to stay in place. Then the next thing I needed to do was to do a wash of black acrylic paint over her to help darken down her bones and make the shadows stand out a lot more. I did start off with it quite watered down, but later on I just applied neat acrylic paint over the top. And as you can see, when you wipe it off, it makes those like the dark areas, the indentations and everything stand out a lot more. It just makes the details show up a lot more. I started off by applying the paint and then wiping it off with a baby wipe, but later on I changed to a cloth because the baby wipe was taking off too much paint. So here on the back, as you can see, I'm covering the whole thing in black acrylic paint and then wiping off the excess, and it makes all the details of the bones and the spine and all that detail that was sculpted into this Monster High doll really stand out. These are brilliantly sculpted little Monster High dolls. These are. That's why I was so impressed, like so pleased to get one. The detail on these is amazing. How they did this and still made it a fully functioning doll amazes me. You know, all her joints still work, and she's so thin, and it's amazing. So here I switched to a cloth, and what I did is applied some acrylic paint and then wiped it off with, it's like the remnants of a jumper that I've been using to make doll jumpers, and then just used the baby wipe just to get the highlights, just so I didn't wipe off most of the paint, because in areas I was wiping off quite a lot of paint. and I liked how it looked a bit grey when I wiped it off with the jumper. So as you can see here, what I do is put the black paint on, wipe it off with the little bit of cloth, and then use the baby wipe for the highlights, as you can see, and it just gives it that sort of more detailed effect and just makes it stand out a lot more. Then I wanted to do the same black acrylic wash over the head because I wanted obviously to match the body, and I did the antlers as well. So this took a little bit of work, and I'm just using downward strokes off the cloth just to make the paint lift off. It did take a few goes and a bit of tweaking, because basically what I needed to do was just cover the whole thing in black, wipe off the excess paint to make the details stand out, and then go over it ever so slightly with a baby wipe or with the cloth again in the areas where I wanted it to be like really highlighted. And it took a few goes just to get it so I was happy with how it was looking. So as you can see, I did start again and just do it another layer of black paint. One advantage with this technique is that you can just go over it again. At this stage, this is where I'm starting to like it. I liked how the face was nice and dark and evil looking, and it was just a case of then deciding which details I wanted to show up a lot more. So as you can see, I'm going over those areas a bit more and wiping off a bit more paint just to make those areas stand out a lot more, like the cheekbones and the bones around the eyes. If you have a bit where you think, oh no, I don't like that, I've removed too much paint, just get a little bit of paint on your finger and dab it back on, give it a second and then wipe it off. Then I painted on little teeth on her lower lip, so she looks like she's got little sharp pointy teeth, and used some watered down white acrylic paint on her eyes. Also I added a bit of red around the eyes just to make them look a bit more sort of bloodshot, a bit more icky. So that's what I'm working on here. I did add some red to the lips, but then I decided it looked a bit too much like lipstick and removed most of it. Then I added some highlights to the eyes, some little lines and light spots, and I did actually blend in the lower light spots with like a sort of light streak that was at the bottom of the eye, because I didn't quite like the two spots that I'd put on her eye. And then here I'm just going over some areas just to make the highlights stand out a bit more. And then I decided to darken the antlers. I preferred them in the darker colour, so I went over those again with black. Then I was deciding how I wanted to do hair or fur on her, so I cut a piece of my fur fabric that I've got out and tried it in different places, but I decided I didn't like that because it hid too much detail, and I wanted those bone details to stand out. So in the end, what I decided to do was to add some wisps of hair. I knew I was going to put some hair on her, and I added some wisps. I used black at first and then used white on top as well, and I did it very sparsely. I didn't want it to have a thick head of hair. I wanted it to look like the hair's falling out or very thin and sort of almost witchy like. This is a Wendigo after all, so she's not going to have a beautiful head of hair. She's like a demon thing. So I just built it up a little bit at a time, layer by layer, so I got the effect I wanted. Basically I wanted very thinning, kind of like old lady hair on her really. So it's like very thin, very sparse, quite fluffy. And also I used the tiniest amount of glue I could, because if you put big blobs of glue on with the hot glue, you can see afterwards once the doll's once it's all set and everything and dried, and I didn't want that, so I was just putting tiny amounts of glue on, and then there was a little bit of glue on either side of the head just to hold the hair down in position. And as you can see, some glue across the shoulder as well, just to hold the hair down. Then I wanted to make a cobweb effect across the antlers. So what you do for that is you put a blob of glue like on a table or a glass surface or something, and then dip the glue gun in it and then lift it up slowly so it creates like strings, and then just flick those across the doll wherever you want the cobweb effect. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.